Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Mike Lonsberg along with Grant Pollock. Quickly, we'll make some stops around the NHL. Grant, first of all, let's talk about one of the most controversial plays that's hit the NHL in a long, long time. Matt Duchene of Colorado skates over with the puck. Offside. I've never seen such a blatant offside call in my life. The referees just let it go. Everyone
Even
stops
he knew
playing.
he was
yeah,
offside.
you could tell. It's kind of like, you mean this is going to count? He scores. They win by one point. And it's just crazy. Barry Trotz was going nuts on this, and it brings back the thoughts. Well, should the coaches have a bit of a flag, you know, that they can throw and challenge,
like they do in football?
Like they do in football.
I say no.
Yeah.
Blatant offside. I mean, how does a linesman miss it? I heard somebody say, as a linesman though, you are so used to looking right across that blue line, you're focused on that. You don't have that peripheral vision.
You should.
Well, I don't know, because you're so used to just being, you know, a centimeter over or something like that.
That was more than a centimeter. He's picking
No,
it
but
up
I'm
at
saying
the
you're so
face-off circle.
used to being focused on the minute little measurement that some guy being over there, you don't see that very often. I was shocked to see that.
Yeah.
Do I want a video replay? No, because I'm tired of games being delayed for that kind of thing. Human error. The linesman admitted he's a veteran guy. He's done Stanley Cups. He admitted he made a mistake. What's wrong with mistakes in the game?
Picked a bad day to quit drinking.
What's wrong with making a mistake?
Okay, Bob Hartley calls it as he sees it, and he says, we need some answers. We have no playoff appearances since 2004. How long are we going to sit and watch the parade go by?
Trade Jerome McGinley then.
Yep.
I mean, I tweeted this after the game. The comments I heard from Bob Hartley in Phoenix, I've heard from Brent Sutter, I've heard from Darryl Sutter, I've heard from Jim Playfair, I've heard from Mike Keenan. In other words, it's the same old crap coming out of the coaches. They're not wrong. I've just heard this before. So why doesn't the organization do something about it? They choose not to.
Yeah.
We've discussed this many times right here. They choose not to trade Jerome McGinley and rebuild this team because it's a moneymaker as it is right now. So Bob Hartley's absolutely right, Mike.
Yeah. I like the fact that he's come out and say that.
Oh, he's been outstanding.
Yeah.
He's been so respectful to media and to everybody. He gives honest to good answers. He doesn't try. He shows respect to everybody. He's saying what he should say, but saying is one thing, doing is another thing.
Much like Darryl Sutter. Anyhow, I want to ask you about the goaltending situation, Grant, because it's becoming more and more obvious with all the backups that they've had and glorious opportunities to make a name for themselves. And you thought Irvin was going to be the man for a while. But you've seen Taylor give up some soft goals against Phoenix, McDonald, an average goaltender. But I think Kiprusoff masked how bad this team really is.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Now everybody's saying, oh, now we need Mika Kiprusoff. He could have saved the day in some of these last few games with St. Louis and with Phoenix. But you're absolutely right. All Mika Kiprusoff did over the last few years is mask the glowing problems on this team. So we're seeing what the Flames really are with those goalies. They're okay as backup goalies. Leland Irving, that's a strange situation.
Yep.
How he couldn't even, he's a third string goalie in the minors. He makes the starting lineup as a backup of the Flames. Now he's a starter. To me, he didn't look that bad, but there just must be something that this organization doesn't like in Leland Irving. Joey McDonald's the goalie right now, regardless of what Danny Taylor does.
Yeah, let's talk about people coming up. Claude Giroux of Philadelphia basically said his team sucks, not putting in an effort. They come back and play a very impressive game. You have Ryan Miller, really, in Buffalo. Without this guy, this would be perhaps the worst team, even though on paper they look like they've got
They spent a lot of money in the last few years.
And they should be better than they are. Defensively, they're nowhere to, you know, Vanek's leading in the top three goal scorers and point getters in the NHL, yet without Ryan Miller, this team would be bad. He's calling his own team out too. So accountability, I mean, if you call somebody out, you got to back it up though too.
And who's calling the Flames out?
The media.
right?
Yeah. The fans. Yeah.
I like when veterans do that and back it up with their play.
Yep.
And if you're a good team, players will follow. I often go back to when I saw the Flames as a successful team, and who was the guy that stood up in the dressing room and said something? Was it Lanny McDonald? Was it those veteran guys? No, not really. It was Killer. It was Doug Gilmour.
Yep.
So, and he backed it up on the ice. We've seen that no matter if it's football, no matter what sport it is. I like when teams do that, and I wish there was somebody on the Flames capable of doing that.
You can hang a C on your sweater, but that doesn't mean you are the most inspirational leader. One guy I want to talk to you quickly, Grant, is Evander Kane of the Winnipeg Jets. Boy, he's been under the spotlight a lot lately. Now, he's come out and said, the reason I'm being criticized a lot is because I'm black. And right away, I want to say, shake your head, because this is Canada. You're playing in Winnipeg, and to me, you're just looking for a crutch.
Absolutely right. He's talking about that picture in Vegas that went viral where he's holding the money, was it? You know,
yeah, and the haircut and everything. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus H. Christ.
I can't believe he pulled the racist card. I mean, that shows me where he's at maturity-wise, where his head's at. Yeah. A low blow. I don't think any Jet fan deserves to hear that from one of their better young players. Bad move by him.
In fact, you don't like to work with me because I'm white. Let's get on with the show. I want to talk to you a bit about Matt Cook. He's got a bit of a reputation. He is a cheap shot artist in my book, always will be.
Is or was?
Perhaps he's turned his game around. But has reputation hurt him so much on that Carlson play? Now, Carlson's gone for the year with an injury, and the hit didn't look that bad. He got his Achilles cut by his skate. Just looked like a normal check. Now, has reputation hurt him? I know Ottawa is screaming bloody murder, but other people are coming to his defense. And what do you think?
Yeah, his reputation does precede him, justifiably so. He was a very dirty player. He put a lot of players out. Your buddy Mark Savard, for instance, right?
Yep.
Sucker punch Mark Savard, never been the same.
Yep.
So yes, I think he's done a great job over the last couple of years in cleaning up his act, and his image preceded that move right there. No question about it. Because was it in Dallas when Mark Giordano took this guy Roussel into the board, slew-footed him. His skate could have caught the back of his Achilles too, and sliced that. So, and nobody would say Mark Giordano is a dirty player.
He's not. Yeah.
He got fined for that.
Yeah. One final note, Grant. I wonder how long Darryl Sutter's act will keep having some effect, let's say that.
What do you
in LA? Here's an interesting thing. Someone asked him about, because right now they've got some injuries, especially on defense.
Yes.
You got a lot of key people out. Quick isn't playing like he should have. Back surgery and everything. But Darryl Sutter, someone asked him about Willie Mitchell and the fact that he's still out. And here's what Sutter had to say. He says, Willie Mitchell historically has missed a lot of time. Appears he's historically doing that again. We know Darryl Sutter can be a prick. There's no two ways about it. How long will that last, even though they are the Stanley Cup champs?
But you admire a player that tells it like it is and calls his players out, but you don't want Darryl Sutter to do it?
Oh, just the way he does it. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, Darryl Sutter has a low shelf life. He's proven that in San Jose, Chicago, and Calgary was a long shelf life.
It was a long shelf
life.
It was a long shelf life.
But we're talking about as a head coach, I guess. I think he's right, though. LA has 3 of their top 6 defensemen last year that went to the Stanley Cup final are injured. I think we're talking Green, Martinez, and Willie Mitchell, and Jonathan Quick wasn't that good. So I think that is a legitimate
But they're
criticism.
not scoring goals either.
But they didn't last year.
Nope.
They were, I think, 20-something or other last year and still won the Stanley Cup. They won on a smothering defense, big, strong team.
Yeah.
If they had a better defense, because of those injuries, I think he'd be okay. But you're saying but that's Darryl Sutter. Yeah, it'll wear guys out. But maybe teammates are saying the same thing about Willie. I don't know.